Oh, for the love of God. I told you that I'll have your money next week. Oh, hey, Jasper.
Mazel tov.
It's October 1st.
What?
Did you even check what day it was?
Yeah, Saturday. Mazel tov.
Stop saying mazel tov. It's trick or treat.
Oh.
Have you been saying mazel tov?
Yeah, for the last few houses.
Houses? It's not even Halloween. What have they been giving you?
Milk duds, Sprite, cold fries, a season 1 box set of Magnum PI.
Sorry I asked.
Purell, rubber.
That's
a dead cat.
The Evil Dead franchise is one of the most iconic horror series of all time, spanning 3 movies and a TV show, all starring the legendary Bruce Campbell. There's plenty of content for you to sink your teeth into. But what if I told you there's more? Lurking in the shadows under cover of darkness, these ghostly figures are what we will be talking about today. You've seen the movies. You've seen the shows. But have you seen the games? Jesus Christ. This Halloween, I wanted to take a look at the video games in the Evil Dead franchise. So strap in, load your boomstick, and prepare for a fight. Let's dive in. First up on the chopping block is Evil Dead Hail to the King, released for the PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast in 2000 and for Windows in 2001. Hail to the King is a survival horror game and is the second Evil Dead video game to ever release. The first one was Evil Dead on the Commodore 64, but we aren't going to talk about that, because it's the Evil Dead on the Commodore 64. This game was developed by Heavy Iron Studios. If that name sounds familiar, it's probably because it does. They also developed Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse, and a couple others. The charm of this game starts pretty much immediately. The second you get to the menu, you hear this funny little Bruce Campbell inside of it yelling at you if you don't start the game quick enough.
Press the friggin' start button, would ya? You're here to play the game, right? Press the button. See that over there? That's the one. Press it.
The game takes place after the events of Army of Darkness. We have Ash here heading back to the cabin with his new girlfriend, her. Now, I'm not going to judge somebody's life choices, but I'm pretty sure he's already done this. He came back here already with another woman, and that didn't end very well, so I'm not sure why he's doing it again. But technically that wasn't canon, or technically is canon, because they had to remake the original Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 because they didn't have the license to their own movie because of bullshit. And now, so I'm not sure if that's technically canon, but I'm not sure actually this is technically canon, so I'm not sure why I'm even having this conversation. I'm going to stop now. Got him. The controls are just terrible. I mean, they're that old control scheme where you have to use one stick to move Ash. So you have to point where you want him to go, and then go. This makes me want to cut both my hands off and turn myself into a psych ward. Blood drips off Ash's chainsaw after combat, which is a pretty cool detail. I think I said cool. I'm gonna re-listen to that. Blood drips off of Ash's chainsaw after combat, which is a pretty cool detail. Pressing the triangle button also makes Ash taunt.
Come get some. Let's go. Yo, come get some. Let's go.
Oh, listen to that little strong man. He doesn't even know what's coming for him. I won't lie to you. PS1 Ash scares the shit out of me. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this, but why do they keep spawning, goddamn? Oh, hey, a gun.
This gun is absolutely incredible.
Terrible game. 2 out of 10. Wouldn't trust it with my least favorite child.
He just, full sprint mind you, ran out the back window. And this was about 3 houses back. Needless to say, I don't think the Murphys are going to be having a very Merry Christmas this year. Do you believe in God?
Second up, we have the loosely connected sequel to Hail to the King, Evil Dead A Fistful of Boomstick. Released in 2003 for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, Fistful of Boomstick was developed by VIS Entertainment, and instead of being a survival horror game like its predecessor, was a hack and slash. This game also sees Bruce Campbell reprising his role as Ash, which in my totally not biased opinion already guarantees this game a 10 out of 10. The intro is really giving me Ghostbusters 2 vibes.
I received this information from an alien. As I told my husband, It was in the...
Here, this one's on me.
Holy shit, it's Tank fucking Dempsey. Where have you been, sweetheart? Please come home. Oh, okay, this is just fucking Ghostbusters. The gameplay is quite fun. You lock on enemies and just blow them away, but this fucker won't die for some reason. Oh, wait a second. People in this world seem to tank shells, which is good because if they didn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Ash seems a bit off in this game, but it's fine. He just needs to not fucking look at me. As I mentioned earlier, this game is a hack and slash, but it keeps some survival horror elements, like having to go into your inventory to grab an item, and then use it. Fun! You also have access to a spellbook. After learning how to use it properly, which took me way too long, you basically gather enough souls to do a spell and say some demonic mumbo jumbo and oh Jesus Christ, he's a Hulk. Yeah, Mom, it's happening again. No, he's not drinking. Up next, Evil Dead Regeneration. It was released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Windows. This game is actually unconnected to the previous game, but still has Bruce Campbell reprising his role, and you know what that means. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the films, minor spoilers, at the end of Evil Dead 2, Ash is sent back in time, which is when Army of Darkness takes place. But this game depicts a scenario where Ash wasn't sent back in time, and therefore he continues on in his time as usual. Ash is sent to a mental institution because, well, you know. As you can probably tell, this game is a lot more cinematic than the previous two. While it is a hack and slash like Boomstick, this one feels a lot more like an Xbox 360 era game in the sense of a story with characters and cutscenes and even its own little gimmick. Motion controls, folding smartphones, life alert, RGB lights on everything you fucking own, and the funny little Italian guy from Evil Dead Regeneration. He's a lot like Kratos' son, but instead of helping your son grow, you're kicking him into a wood chipper.
Did that hurt?
Maybe it's me. I could definitely have some sort of mental deficiency, but I can't stop kicking this fucker. What I'm trying to say is I should not be allowed within like 100 feet of any sort of school.
I think the guy just made a mess of it. I think just, if you're gonna murder your wife, there's plenty more discreet ways to do it.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
What?
Murder? Wife? What?
What, have you not been watching the news? It's all over 64. The lawyer that works downtown just murdered his wife. From what I heard, his partner's gonna try and defend him, but I don't think that's really gonna work out. From what I understand, the case is pretty cut and dry. And with all this stuff going around with that cult of Faniel, I heard the courts moved its hearings back a whole year, so that's crazy.
Cult of Faniel.
Hey, don't look at me like that! Oh, sorry, it's Mrs. Marley from 5 Houses Back. What? Hey, don't you jump ugly on me. How was I supposed to know your dog was weak in the stomach? Well, he shouldn't have come at me right after I walked out of jiu-jitsu. You want to start this? I believe in gender equality, and I will send you to God.
And last but not least, Evil Dead the Game, developed by Saber Interactive and released in 2022 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Nintendo Switch, my fucking fridge, and I'm pretty sure you can fit this fucker on a leapfrog. I didn't really have high hopes for this game. It's a licensed game, and also it's one of those games where you have one player playing as an unmatched demigod who could break Hercules' arm in a thumb war, and the other player plays the Goonies. I'm personally not a huge fan of this type of game. I don't understand how people can drop thousands of hours into this. Like, why would you waste time putting that much time into this when you could play your 10th playthrough of Persona 4? Now, it's no Halo Reach, but this game has no right to be as fun as it is. The combat is satisfying as hell, the way you transfer deadites from this mortal coil is phenomenal. You stick spears through them and rip them out the other side like it's nothing, chop them into little pieces with a longsword, or turn their insides into a bowl of SpaghettiOs with a chainsaw. Oh yeah, and that's another thing, this game is bloody as hell, and I love it. You go from wearing a nice, clean suit to just being covered in what's left of the bastards who tried to get you to pay your wife's alimony, and we both know that's not going to happen. The survivors have to find all pieces of the Necronomicon Ex Mortis along with the Kundarian dagger. Once you have all of them, you face off against the boss and win or die trying. And that's honestly about it. This game doesn't have much in the way of variety, but honestly I don't mind that much because my simple monkey brain just wants to see deadites get chopped up into little ooey gooey little pieces, And that's really all I need. For your average person, maybe this game could be have a little more there. But for someone like me, oh, it's fine. I bought it. It's a good game. I would love to see a new video game set in the Evil Dead universe. Now, don't get me wrong. Evil Dead, the video game, is great, and I have a lot of fun with it. But it's a 1v4 multiplayer game, and those die pretty quickly. What I'm looking for is something a bit more substantial. Something like, Regeneration and Boomstick, where you actually have a story and a campaign to play through. That would be amazing to have a new one of those, especially with all the modern technology we have nowadays. Could you imagine modern day 4K 60 FPS Bruce Campbell? I just think it would be awesome to have that. Now, that's probably just a fool's dream, but I really hope that happens someday. Especially since Bruce Campbell has retired playing Ash in live action. So it'd be nice to have one last really cool hoorah in the video game world, where so much is possible. Like murder.
Anyway, I gotta get going. You have a good night. Oh, and trick or treat?
Fine. Let me see what I got here. I got a Gold's Gym workout on the Wii. It's all yours, pal.
Oh, cool. Is that asbestos?
Yeah.